Alright, finally I figured out my mic. So hello everyone and welcome back to more Manor Regulars action. I'm your caster, Invisible Jong, and joined by me is, want to introduce who you are?
Hi everybody, I'm Panda. Yay!
Wait, was that Night Owl just now?
What? Sorry?
Oh, never mind. Oh yeah, this says Panda aka also Night Owl because he's called Night Owl in the Discord, which adds the confusion. So anyways, we're going to be back with more Manor Regulars action. So here's a quick recap on the bracket, and unfortunately for us today, as you notice, we only have one match because Team Yappers cannot make it and they're having like team complications, so they opted to drop out, meaning that Armada X is going to directly move on to the losers bracket and gets a bye round. So we only have one game today, and it's going to be Team Tianba versus Team Lunarfia, and Team Tianba is the Group B's second place. They started the losers bracket and they won their game to come to now. Meanwhile, Team Lunarfia is the Group A winner, and they lost their match last week and dropped down, and they'll be facing off today. So moving on, this is going to be wrong one. Moving on, this is going to be Team Tianba's lineup. Want to introduce them, Panda?
Yeah, give me a sec.
You need
So we can see that Tianba survivors: Mang Yan, Norton Leo, Carl, LB, and Konus as survivors, and Immortal, and Iso, Kanya, and Doma as their hunters.
Yeah, a very 8 people in their team, a very strong lineup we can see. As our Team Lunarfia, we have Radiant, Rena, LMJ, Cheese, Orca S, and Misty as their survivors, or one of them is a duo, I'm not sure who. Meanwhile, Fui is going to be their hunter. So as a quick recap on today's schedule, it is going to be only Team Tianba versus Team Lunarfia, and the winner of this game is going to face off against Armada X tomorrow. So while we're at it, like Panda, one thing I note is that the balance change has happened between last week and this week. So in this week, things will be more interesting because we saw a couple of nerfs. Is that correct?
Yeah. So in the global server, the Oprah, Shed, Ivy, Goldman nerf have all been released. So it's very interesting to see how the hunters will be able to adapt to the current nerfs, because it wouldn't be the same feeling when playing Oprah, especially in the dash speed. Her movement is decreased by 25%, if I'm not wrong.
Yep, definitely. So I think really how would the players adapt to this balance change that occurred between this tournament is going to be a very crucial, considering it's only been 2 days. And by the way, a Night Owl, you can begin the ban picks. So while we're waiting on it, let's have a quick recap. As you noted, the opera singer, the dash decreased. For Ivy, her scare from both her main body and her leech got increased, like the cooldown. The Goatman, the resentment level got slower, and I think Hermit also got a minor nerf. Meanwhile, on the survivors end, Seer and Priestess got nerfed. Is that correct?
Yeah, if I'm not wrong, the Seer nerf is that even if the hunter didn't hit the Seer hour, you still get the interaction speed debuff, which in the past when the Seer gave teammates hour, if the hunter choose not to hit it, you wouldn't have the interaction speed debuff. So now with this new nerf, no matter what, the Seer will always receive the interaction speed.
Yep.
Debuff.
Yeah, and also the decode. I'm not sure if you said just now, but also the decoding speed also gets nerfed now. Like after the owl blocks it.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, let's head into the ban pick screen while I'm going to recap you on that. It's basically now whenever there is when the owl came into play, the Seers, every time it gets into play, the Seer will also get a 5% decoding speed decrease. Every time it gets it gets added. So basically after Seer uses the owl, it is going to his decoding speed will be decreased by 5%.
Wow, that's a very big count nerf to Seer. In the past, if I'm not wrong, Seer didn't have this decoding debuff, so it was still playable even though it had the interaction speed.
Yep. I feel definitely it's the right direction of a nerf, but I do feel characters that are afraid of the seer would still ban it, but I think it is a significant one.
Yeah, because in terms of if the hunter is still chasing a seer, it's still very annoying. Or like hunters like Geisha, Dream Witch, all those single hit hunters, they're still very afraid of seer because the seer can still support his teammates without actually being there to support, you know. He can be decoding while supporting.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like what made the seer meta is because his ability to give a free block while having like little to no drawbacks, and this nerf sort of gave the seer like a minor drawback. Like it's not significant, but definitely is not something to be avoided. As we can see that right now, the Adoma would be the one playing, and he has chosen to ban the seer and the priestess. So yeah, seer, even the nerf's still going, or rather the psychologist, my bad. And yes, I think I know what this is leaning towards, because Doma is a Goatman player, so probably that is what we're seeing here.
Yeah, so talking about earlier about the IV nerf, IV not only did she get nerfed in a way when your scare increased from 30 seconds to 18 seconds, when you're going for the rescue, a lot of times when you're rescuing against an IV, the hunter will leech the rescuer. Then there's a high chance of even double downing or even failing rescue against the IV because the ghost like the what is it called? The ghost thing on you increase very fast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the percentage.
Yeah. The corruption. Like it won't increase that much in front of the chair now, right?
Yeah, so now it's easier to rescue against the IV. And just now earlier I was playing rank. It was like I was like, why is it going so slow? That made me accidentally flywheel too early. The corruption. Yeah.
So while we're at it, we're seeing the priestess and the puppeteer gonna get selected here, as the NT will be the next one being banned. And as per we know, it's a Goatman, and Goatman also got a bit of a nerf, and like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the resentment level, like, it does not increase that fast. Yet he's still very significant in this meta. Meanwhile, the priestess also got a nerf, and it is that her portal stun sort of decreased in time. But I feel like even with that, we can see that even with the nerfs and stuff, seer and priestess are definitely still like one of the top picks.
Yeah, I would say priestess nerf is not really a big problem.
Yep.
It's a slight nerf, but people play priestess in a way is to help your teammates to transition to a stronger kiting area.
Yeah.
It's not really used for stuns, especially if priestess players know how to do the portal trick. Like, so when hunter go through the portal, he's immediately stuck and like suck into the next portal, which helps teammates to get a very big distance. So the stun doesn't really make a big factor, you know.
Yeah, those trap portals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a bit of a nerf because like if the hunter's stun time got decreased, it means that the survivor won't able to be transitioned that much as comparing to before, but it's still significant enough, especially in maps like Ever Sleeping and Chinatown. Like, the Priestess Portal allow you to transition from one map, like one strong area to another, and that's why Priestess are very strong in these type of maps.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, Wildling next one. So far, every like character being selected and banned here all revolves around the Goatman, so I think it's obvious. So I think for this Lunar Feast Survivor, their key is how they're going to be using this Priestess, because Priestess portals can be used to escape out of cages if used correctly. So the Priestess will probably be the one saving grace of this game, and Doma will mainly have to like be aware of how he's going to place his cages, or else the Priestess portal can escape out of the cage, and once out of the cage, then Goatman is going to suffer for a bit.
Yeah, we can see that the survivors have really chosen a very hard counter team comp against the Goatman, and their fourth pick is they have chosen to pick the Magician, which is very interesting team comp because all Puppeteer, Perfumer, and Magicians are all hard counters towards Goatman, because Goatman is a single hit hunter.
Yeah.
So you should be picking those characters that can absorb more hits, like a Puppeteer, Perfumer. Magician doesn't really absorb hits, but the Magician stick allows you to buy even more time inside the cage. So depending on what Doma chooses to use in the cage, like the 9, 12, 15 seconds, all these three characters are able, the Puppeteer and Perfumer, once eaten a hit, the cage will immediately drop, so they're able to transition to the next area, while Magician can be using the Magician stick to buy time inside the cage, mind gaming with the Goatman. So it really depends how the Magician will be able to utilize his Magician stick and mind game with the Goatman inside the cage to see if he can buy even more time. Especially against the Goatman, you want to delay the chase as long as possible, like in the past against the Oprah meta.
Oops, my bad, I clicked the wrong thing. But yeah, but while we're at it, I actually was wondering for a split second would we be seeing the Professor, because the Professor is sort of like can tank a hit, and also the Professor skill can block one Goatman out of cage hit, and he also got buffed recently. I was just wondering would there be a possibility of a Professor rather than a Magician, but Magician also works just well, as we are going to be seeing Doma here going to be playing the Goatman, and I just had to laugh because the players submitted a goat emoji in the chat. So yeah, Goatman, I think like this is a counter comp, but Goatman is just too strong that even a full counter comp can only be like 50-50 at best. And really, as I mentioned again, it's the Priestess is the key of this game.
Yeah, so it really depends on how the Hunter will adapt to the current Goatman nerf, because the nerf really affects the Goatman chase a lot, because it takes longer for your energy to come back, so it takes longer time for you to be able to trap or use your ability to go for the chase or like stuffing the rescue. So I would say it's not really the Hunter had to really fully utilizes every cage of energy.
Oh yeah. So what you're saying is that the Hunter have to be a bit careful on how they use it, because if they like miss a few, then they'll run out of resentment level, right?
Yes, that's right.
Oh yeah, because Goatman already got nerfed, but definitely one thing I know for certain, even if he got nerfed, there's still no denying he's like the number one, like if you do not count Hula Blue, which is not allowed. So it's no surprise he still got chosen, but I think his like terror and his cages won't be able to be like as effective, or like he cannot put as many cages as before, because one thing that made Goatman so terrifying is that his resentment level, like he can put non-stop cages, but we can see last week, LN actually also played Goatman, but they missed a cage and that came in fatal later on.
Yeah. So that's why, especially with the new nerf, Goatman players should really be careful on how they use their cages, especially trying their best to fully utilize every cage as possible, as there's not really much room for mistake compared to before the nerf.
Oh yeah, room for mistake. That's one of the reasons why Goatman is very strong. So we are going to be seeing the spawn selection. They're going to opt to have the Priestess spawn in the corner house, which is interesting because I thought she was spawned at the center to help assist. Maybe they put her there so that the Priestess can potentially kite. As Goatman will be spawning between the Priestess and the Puppeteer, I reckon the Puppeteer would be the first chase, because with the Priestess, she can use her portals to escape out of the cage, and that would give the Goatman a huge problem.
I would say most likely the Goatman will be chasing for the Priestess, because against the Goatman, you do not want to get trapped very early into the game. True. You know, you want to try your best to get as much distance, forcing as much cage as you can before even getting the first hit. So by spawning and mention, the Priestess is already trapped, so it's easier for the Goatman to use his cage to trap the Priestess even more. So as you can see that the Goatman is moving towards the mentioned area, chasing the Priestess.
Yep, a very good analysis from a very skilled player. So we can see that here the Goatman just wandering around, but goes for the first cage but misses it completely. So this is already a very bad start for Tian Ba's Hunter, because we talked about like the room of error of Goatman in this meta is very bad, and right off the bat he already wasted 40 resentment level by guessing the wrong, and now he allowed the Priestess to portal away, and the Priestess portal out of the cage. So with that is like a very, very bad start, because he missed 2 cages in a row, and now here Doma just does not have a lot of resentment level inactive.
Yeah, we can even see that Doma has brought in people to chase against the Priestess, which is not really recommended, as normally you use people to trap people at a certain location, so it's harder for them to loop you or cut you there. But against the Priestess, this type of characters are good at very transitioning, so it's very hard to use the people to even get a hit on the Priestess. And
actually we can see that while we're talking, like he missed another one, so now yes, he got the first hit, which is only like a 0.25 damage, and the fact that he like guessed wrongly where the Priestess was 3 times and make that 4 times is very bad, because there's no room of error for Goatman, but here Doma here just made a lot of errors.
Yeah, we can see that it is very hard for a Priestess to even kite a Goatman, but these Priestess have managed to utilize all 3 of her portals very efficiently, every portal ensuring that
ensure that they're able to escape. Yep. So let's see. Oh, if able to get another hit here in half health, but like the time for Goatman is very limited because we can see that currently 2 ciphers are already gone. The third one is very high in progress. If this is like nearly a free cipher kite, and here Goatman can't really do much and wait until the next K, and down goes the priestess, but this is already 3.5 cipher kite here, Panda.
Yeah, we can see that the priestess had did a very successful kite, managed to causing a lot of the Goatman energy, and even kited 3 ciphers. And now the puppeteer will be going in for the rescue with his Titaner. So I would say after if the cipher just rescue normally 2 times, it will be enough for a 4-man endgame.
Yeah, unless Doma here can make something counter. Let's see, Puppeteer going to sneak in. Okay, is he going to use the cage to try and block? Let's see, going to shrink once. Goes for hit again for a Terror Shock, so if able to like get some momentum, but that's a Puppeteer, so the Puppeteer does not go down here, and down goes the Priestess, but with Tide Turner, the Priestess can just run away and free up those ciphers for the Puppeteer to rush.
Yeah, we can see that the Priestess didn't bring borrowed time, which is, I think, this may be the game changer in this game, as that if Doma whoever is going for the next rescue, if I see is the Perfumer, if he's not able to body block properly for the Priestess, there's a very high chance that Doma has a very strong end game, as none of them will be at the gate, and he can really kill one person immediately.
Well, we can see that he chaired next to the Puppeteer, probably wants to harass the Puppeteer off that cipher, because that's the one with the field progress, and goes for Abnormal here to instantly reduce the cipher progress. But the question is, can he still get the Priestess? Because we see that the Priestess is able to use the portal to escape out of the Goatman, so let's see, can the Priestess do that again, because that will be crucial.
Yeah, we can see that Doma is making a lot of mistakes in the
Hold on.
Managing to actually get down on the Priestess. Goatman is very afraid of teammates coming to body block, because every time you body block one time, one cage will be going down. So it really uses a lot of energy and wastes a lot of time. But we can see that due to the mistake by the Perfumer and Priestess communication, it wasn't able to body block for the Priestess and going down, which now is a high chance for the Goatman to even go for a 3k.
So let's see though because the one saving grace is that Trump card has already been expanded, but let's see. Oh, is he able to get towards the Puppeteer? Puppeteer out in open is going to be going down. So I was about to say the good news is that the Trump card has already been expanded, so Goatman has no ability endgame, which will be the one saving grace, as we can see that LMJ is going to in for the rescue as the Cyber has already been primed. So let's see what is the plan here.
Wow, we can see that Doma has utilized a very high skill in using his ability and managed to go in to hit the Magician. However, now due to this, he wasted a lot of time and energy, and now the ciphers are being popped as the Magician reacted very fast to go for a new cipher immediately once knowing the Priestess went down, allowing to prime very early. So we can see that this game is most likely a draw and even have a 3-run opportunity, but we can see that the Magician went down and the Survivors are already opening the gate. Doma doesn't have much time to work with.
Yeah, Doma seems to be going for it though, to use a cage, but can he is able, because 84%, watch out, 107 level, Puppeteer's gonna go down in front of the gate. I think the Survivors were not cautious enough for that, and now the Puppeteer's going to get chaired, and the Puppeteer already has a second chair, and the Survivors will be scrambling because they cannot be at this gate anymore.
Yeah, we can see that Doma have excelled very well using the timings and managed to get the down on the Puppeteer, and now he's going for the Magician, which I think is giving chance for the Perfumer to loop back, go for the rescue, which Doma have to realize that the Perfumer is going for the rescue, but Doma did not see the Perfumer going rescue in time, allowing the rescue to happen, and now we can see both Perfumer and Puppeteer is rushing for the gate. Instead of going to control the gate, he's going for the Magician at the dungeon, which he still has a Magician. This looks like a
Hold on!
3-run escape!
Yeah. Honestly, I have no words for that, Panda.
We can see that Doma was a bit lost. He was too focused on the Magician, and when he was looking back at the chair, he did not see the Perfumer running towards the chair, which gave them the chance to even get down the rescue. And instead of controlling the gate, he went to chase the Magician, who was the only one that still had item to work with. Puppeteer have the puppet, but it's not able to eat a detention hit, and the Perfumer it's not efficient against the detention Goatman 2. Only the Magician stick is the only one that can buy time, which the Magician did very well, using the Magician stick to trick Doma and allowing to go for the dungeon escape.
Yeah, I feel like this is more of an error in terms of decision making, because Because like even if he didn't see the moment the perfumer pulls off, he should have instantly gone back. Because the magician is the one that has a wand, as you mentioned, which Doma definitely should have known. So he should have instantly gone back. Because the perfumer and the puppeteer, no one at that side can kite out the Goatman. He's guaranteed to get one down. Like if he gets the puppeteer down, then he can still charge for either the perfumer or the magician and go for a free K. But I think, like as you mentioned, he definitely got lost at the end and made one horrible mistake that blew his potential free K chance into a free escape.
Yeah, in terms of this type of game, it was a very good circumstance for him. He was able he had a high chance of getting the 3 kill or even a 4K elimination, due to him not being too greedy in the sense that he allowed them to go for a 3-man escape. Knowing that the first card was already a 3-cypher card, he managed to buy a lot of time to go for this 3-man endgame, immediately killing the magician, immediately killing the puppeteer. So after killing the puppeteer, he really wanted to help his team to get a 3K elimination to help off. But due to this mistake, he was very greedy in the sense that he didn't manage to camp the chair properly, allowing them to rescue, and instead of going back to the gate, he focused on the magician and managed to allow the magician to buy time till they managed to escape and magician going for the dungeon, which is very bad for Team TB, as this is a Goatman. And in BO2, most likely someone will be banning a Goatman, and you're only forced with using a Nerf Ivy or
Nerf Opera. Yeah, especially I felt like what he possibly could have done after seeing the magician is to go back, bait the perfumer, and go back at the chair, because he's in no hurry. Because at that point, the magician, he knows the magician's location. The magician can't exactly run to the gate at the other side, so he can go back to the chair, locate the perfumer, go after the perfumer, or if the perfumer is not nearby, then go out and find the magician. Anyway, that's better than allowing that free rescue. So anyways, with that free man escape, this is not looking good for TB, as this is a hunter side meta. As now, LN's hunter will only be aiming for a tie. So with that, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll see everyone after the break. See you in a bit.
Bye.
I have always believed that the most beautiful thing in this world is the smile of a child. They are always so delighted to see me. Except for this boy. He seems indifferent to everything. So many times, I still fail to understand.
I don't understand. What does this mean?
他以前就不只会是玩具。
I still want to try, just one time, to get closer to you. Confused, unknown, quietness. Is this how you perceive the world?
他是我孩子呀，那我肯定不能放弃他。
I still wish to get closer to you.
他很小的时候就非常自己在。
3岁多的样子，
不看人，
之前也没有了解过。
对视。
但他还是我独一无二的宝贝嘛。虽然他确诊了孤独症，但他真的很善良。我想让他和其他孩子一起上课。我也想他和其他孩子一起啊。我只想你快乐、健康就好。我们永远都会爱你。
These stars shine with kindness. I have always cherished them, for they will never be extinguished. When the deep night surrounds you, may they become your stars in the darkness. Voyager 1, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
I've brought you many things this time, too. Continue your journey with courage. Stay the course. I have always believed that the most beautiful thing in this world is the smile of a child. They are always so delighted to see me. Except for this boy. He seems indifferent to everything. So many times, I still fail to understand.
I don't understand. What does this mean?
他以前就不只会这玩具。
I still want to try, just one time, to get closer to you. Confused, unknown, quietness. Is this how you perceive the world?
他是我孩子呀，那我肯定不能放弃他。
I still wish to get closer to you.
他很小的时候就非常自己在。
3岁多的样子，
不看人，
之前也没有了解过。
对视。
但他还是我独一无二的宝贝嘛。虽然他确诊了孤独症，但他真的很善良。我想让他和其他孩子一起上课。我也想他和其他孩子一起啊。我只想你快乐、健康就好。我们永远都会爱你。
These stars shine with kindness. I have always cherished them, for they will never be extinguished. When the deep night surrounds you, may they become your stars in the darkness. Voyager 1, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
I've brought you many things this time too. Continue your journey with courage. Stay the course. I have always believed that the most beautiful thing in this world is the smile of a child. They are always so delighted to see me. Except for this boy. He seems indifferent to everything. So many times, I still fail to understand.
I don't understand. What does this mean?
他以前就不只会这玩具。
I still want to try, just one time, to get closer to you. Confused, unknown, quietness. Is this how you perceive the world?
Hello everyone, and welcome back to more Manor Regulars action. I'm your caster Invisible Jung, and joined by me is going to be Panda as we're moving on, and we're just talking about it behind the scenes, and we felt like there's a lot that the hunter could have possibly done to like make it a tie or free K. Is that correct?
Yeah, so if I was the Goatman, I would be making sure that I have vision of the magician and at the chair at the same time. So if the perfumer chooses to come to rescue, I can immediately go back to the perfumer. And if the perfumer actually chooses to come and rescue, I can immediately get the down on the perfumer. And knowing where the magician was, I can immediately go back after chairing the perfumer and even getting a 4K elimination for the team.
Yeah. Hold on, give me a second. So yeah, here's a quick recap. It's currently a 3-2-1. 3-2-1 with Ellen in the lead, and considering that this is a hunter meta, this is definitely not good for Team Tianba at all, as now Ellen's hunter Fui or Love-like only needs a tie, and per my memory, Ellen's hunter actually can play all three like current meta strongest hunters, which is Opera, Ivy, and Goatman. So Tianba will have to like find a way to counter them. And by the way, now you can begin. So as we're talking is that last week, because Ellen's hunter played Goatman, Opera Singer, and Ivy respectively, so right now for Team Tianba Survivor, they're looking to try and free escape, or at least get a tie in front of this meta hunter player.
Yeah, if I'm not wrong, the Team LN hunter, he wasn't really very confident in his Goatman, but he only started taking out Goatman in BO3 if I did not mistaken. So knowing that knowing that Elven Hunter has a Goatman, but he's not very confident, most likely in this situation when he just need to go for a draw, I think he'll most likely go with his most confident Hunter, which is still the Opera Singer. But with the Opera Singer nerf, her movement speed is slower. I will not know how well can she adapt to this meta.
Oh yeah,
I would say it's still strong, but there's more. The survivors has more room to play, more room to work with compared to the past.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because once again, as a reminder for those of you who are new, is that the balance change has already taken place here, meaning that Opera Singer got nerfed, Ivy got nerfed, Goatman got nerfed. So these hunters, I think, they're definitely still meta and strongest, but they definitely do not have the same amount of terror that they had. And I think amongst those three, the Opera Singer is probably the one that has the most significant, because he's like significantly slow. She's significantly slower. Then this means that the survivors can move around it even more, because her only strength is her speed.
Yeah. So in the past, Opera Singer is very strong, as she at first when Opera was released, she was like a strong chase and a strong cipher control hunter, because she dashes very fast and her return to a shadow is the CD was very short. So after the nerf in the return of a shadow, she's still very strong in her terms of chasing. So she can still do her normal chasing very fast. So now when her chase is being nerfed, she's still one of the fastest movement hunter, but she is slower. So it really depends on how fast can Fui get the down on Team Tianba survivors, as especially with the nerf, the survivors have more room to work with and have like higher chance of OBing or even kiting the Opera Singer compared to.
Oh yeah, and especially because another nerf that Opera got is that her Shadow Dance cooldown also got increased. I think it went from it was 20 seconds previously, if I'm not mistaken, to 24, meaning that Opera Singer, because nowadays she relies a lot on her Shadow Dance to get hits, but now with the cooldown being increased, she won't be able to get as many Shadow Dances as before, and this is definitely going to be very painful for them.
Yeah, so talking about that, it's like basically about like the Goatman. It basically tells you that when you're playing this type of hunters, there's not really much room for mistake to work with. So especially as an Opera Singer, as we can see in combination, a lot of those high strong Operas, you don't really see them making mistakes. But when you do, you still have the return to the shadow dance to help you recover from that. But it really affects your chase, because when you're chasing, you really require the shadow dance a lot before Blink is ready to get the first hit.
Yeah, so while we're at it, a couple of picks and bans have happened already. As the Seer and Antiquarian got banned, Cord, First Officer got selected, and Puppeteer got banned. So far everything is leaning towards the Opera Singer that we've been talking about. Is that we talked about definitely the room of error is much lower, and her being slower means that the Opera Singer's ability to travel across the map is also significantly weaker. That means that her field control is weaker. It's almost like everything of her got significantly weaker with this nerf, and with the survivors having more room of error, like room to kiting around, it will be easier for them to kite. But I think this only applies to like mind games in long palettes. If it's short palettes, I think the difference is negligible, because in short palettes the Opera Singer won't be flying a lot.
Yeah, so we can see that Foy has really go for a single hit ban in banning the Seer, the Antiquarian, the Puppeteer, which really represents that most likely he'll be playing the Opera Singer or he'll be playing a Goatman, which is both playable. And we can see that the survivors have chosen a very strong starting pick. A First Officer, which is very strong in buying time when going rescue, compared to the Mercenary, as when Mercenary is being found very early, he's forced to use his elbow pads, while the First Officer can just use one pocket watch to buy a lot of time, allowing the survivors to sit on the chair even longer. And the Coordinator is very strong in terms of a stun, as it's very strong, especially against an Opera Singer. Any chase hunter in general is very annoying to have that 5-second stun time, which buys a lot of time for the survivors to transition or get a bigger distance, which affects the hunter chase. So it's harder for him to even go for a draw or even a 3k if Foy chooses to go for.
Well, so far we're going to be seeing the final bans being the Psychologist, so Fui most likely Opera Singer, or I mean, he can still go for a Goatman, but with Tianba selecting the Priestess, it's not likely, because we saw how Priestess kited the Goatman just now. And also the thing is that with Tianba's ban pick here, they managed to preserve the Priestess for future rounds, because in the last round for Team Lunarfia, they definitely have like quite some strong characters in the global ban as Priestess is gone, but Tianba preserved it, and they also kept the Priestess as a potential counter against the Shadow and also the Goatman, meaning that the only thing that we're probably expecting here is the Opera Singer. And Opera Singer, I think if it's Opera Singer, definitely hard target the Priestess because Priestess cannot kite out an opera.
Yeah, a priestess is very strong in terms of supporting, but it's not very strong in kiting as an opera. As like, for example, like Geisha is a hard counter against the priestess because even though the priestess can go transition to the portal, Geisha and opera, these type of fast movement speed hunters are able to catch up very fast. So it's really not as efficient for a priestess to be kiting a Geisha or opera compared to like a Bond or Sculptor with this movement speed are slightly slower. It's harder for you to catch up to the survivors.
Oh yeah, it's definitely harder. So currently we are waiting for the Hunter's pick here. Like Opera Singer, because I feel like Goatman have a significant issue is that the Priestess, and yes indeed it's going to be the Opera, so Night Owl, you can begin. But I think it's more 50-50. Indeed, in fact, I'm very curious on how much is the effect. Like I've seen it in some videos of how the Opera Singer is slower now, but I definitely want to see it in action. But with that nerf, I think Priestess has to make a run for it because she's not gonna last out longer. And Cord and Perfumer items can get expanded, so actually in paper terms, this team comp is not exactly the best against an Opera Singer. But this is nerfed, so anything can happen. But I feel like if we are looking at the meta before, the Opera Singer will have the advantage.
Yeah, we can see that both Priestess and Opera has been nerfed, so it's Kai, you know. So it's like still
50-50.
It's balance for both sides. Hunter being nerfed, then the strongest support Priestess is also being nerfed. So it's playable for both sides of the team.
Hold on. Is it just me or Tianba? They have Cord and Perfumer both with Flywheel effect, but Flywheel effect doesn't do a thing against the Opera Singer. So actually, if we're looking at personal choices, I think that Love Light might have a larger chance than we have because like there are two survivors here that cannot really kite out the Opera Singer effectively. Our personal choices are not good.
Yeah, I can see. I think based on what Tianba have saw in the past, they were picking a more of a persona counter towards a Goatman because Flywheel is still very strong. Is a Goatman as you can buy time using a Flywheel inside the cage to buy time for the cage to drop. So they were really being careful with picking their persona to count in case that Love Light pick the Goatman. But it's still playable in the terms that the Perfumer can use Flywheel to use the CD to reduce.
Yep, her cooldown, yeah. I mean, yeah, because if we look at the spawn pick here, currently the Opera Singer is spawned next to the Perfumer, and I reckon she won't like waste her time trying to locate the Priestess because the Priestess can just easily make her way towards the graveyard area. So I think here it's going to be like a 50-50 battle between the Priestess and the Perfumer and the Opera Singer. So it's just really how well can this Perfumer kite out with her raw skill. Because she does not have her persona to transition, it's going to be a close range battle in between both sides here. So really, whoever is more skilled in like raw skill is going to win here.
Yeah, so we can see that the Opera has chosen forcing the Perfumer to go towards Graveyard, which is very interesting. And we can see that Love Light is lagging.
Hold on, Night, can you pause this real quick? Yeah. So hold on, let's see what's the situation here. So yeah, for everyone in the stream, please wait us. Oh, Fui lost connection.
Yeah.
So yeah, while we're at it, let's talk about because the persona. Night, what's the situation?
It just lost connection for a minute. Wi-Fi broken.
Yeah, so probably they also lost their ability to area select.
Oh,
yeah. Because knowing as an Opera Singer, you wouldn't spawn at Mansion because you do not want the survivors to transition to Graveyard because Graveyard is a lot of pellets areas, which is very strong for kiters, especially at Perfumer to buy time for a CD.
I think hold on. I think I'm gonna ask them if they need to reset, but if we're gonna reset, I think they cannot like they have to stick with the spawn because now who spawned already got revealed.
Oh, I mean, I don't think the hunter saw because he kind of like didn't really enter the game to pick the persona. I mean,
I mean, it's already live on stream.
Uh,
So yeah, for everyone in the audience, please wait. We're currently trying to negotiate, like to communicate on the issues. Because like their hunter lost connection, so yeah, while we're at it, let me see if it's the spawn. I think it's still 50-50 on both ends because he can go after the perfumer. The priestess actually cannot go in the graveyard because that cipher is probably going to get locked. But so it's a perfumer, and I think perfumer the ever-seeming time just realized that area is a weaker area for the perfumer, and considering that she brought flywheel effect, she can transition kite.
Yeah, so I would say it's very it's a very disadvantage for Fui.
Yeah, with
His name
that area selection, with losing
it's very
connection
unfortunate
there.
for Fui spawning there because it's very unfortunate as an opera singer. You don't really want to chase the person at graveyard. So if he doesn't want to chase the graveyard, I think he's most likely forced to. He can waste the decoding time by going to the center to disrupt the FO cipher, then going towards the coordinator, which I would recommend, instead of trying to go for the perfumer at graveyard. Even though due to this unfortunate event, he's forced to spawn the mansion. He do not want to chase the perfumer, especially the priestess spawning at the center double story, which is able to support too.
Yeah, I mean, another way is that he can go to the perfumer, pressure there, and move towards the court because the court spawned at the bottom there. And because with that pressuring, he can like force the survivors away from ciphers early game on. So that's definitely an option. As please wait, as we're still trying to resolve the situation. And currently, yeah, we still have like around 2 minutes for the pause night out. As we're still waiting for their hunter, and I assume we probably need to restart this. Wait, let's see. But yeah, while we're talking, because definitely the opera singer would not want the survivors to enter the graveyard because graveyard is a stronger area, and perfumer can use the perfumes, but I think it would be harder for the perfumer to transition towards the graveyard just because the fact that it's a flywheel effect. Because I really think that TB was trying to prevent a Goldman too much that they put themselves into danger.
Yeah, we can see that they have chosen to let the perfumer spawn at Geisha, forcing the opera singer to come and chase. Because in terms of like some opera singers would like to bring excitement, which will have a chance to go chase the coordinator. But by spawning like this, they're forcing the hunter to spawn at the Geisha side to chase the perfumer immediately. Which also a perfumer is a very strong counter against the opera singer.
Yep. So we're currently still. Yeah. I'm still thinking what are the possibilities, but considering the fact that only needs a tie, like in order to get a free escape, you have to kite very long, or the support be effective. But against an opera singer, the support normally won't be that effective. So I think a tie is still playable for Team Ellen here. Is a free escape is where there's a problem.
Yeah, because for us commentators, we need to extend, to BO3.
Yeah, and then be like sitting in jail. But anyways, currently, yeah, still.
Yeah, currently we can see that the hunter is still facing some internet issues, and we'll be getting back to you all soon on more updates.
Yeah. So hold on. Yeah. I think this needs a bit more time. We're expecting. So I'm going to head to a pause real quick, and as soon as we're back, we'll continue with this game. So yeah, I'm going to head into pause real quick. See you in a bit.
I have always believed that the most beautiful thing in this world is the smile of a child. They are always so delighted to see me. Except for this boy. He seems indifferent to everything. So many times, I still fail to understand.
I don't understand. What does this mean?
他以前就不只会是玩具。
I still want to try, just one time, to get closer to you. Confused, unknown, quietness. Is this how you perceive the world?
他是我孩子呀，那我肯定不能放弃他。
I still wish to get closer to you.
他很小的时候就非常自己在。
3岁多的样子，
不看人，
之前也没有了解过
对视。
但他还是我独一无二的宝贝嘛。虽然他确诊了孤独症，但他真的很善良。我想让他和其他孩子一起。我也想他和其他孩子们一起。我只想你快乐、健康就好。我们永远都会爱你。
These stars shine with kindness. I have always cherished them, for they will never be extinguished. When the deep night surrounds you, may they become your stars in the darkness. Voyager 1, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
I've brought you many things this time too. Continue your journey with courage. Stay the course. I have always believed that the most beautiful thing in this world is the smile of a child. They are always so delighted to see me. Except for this boy. He seems indifferent to everything. So many times, I still fail to understand.
I don't understand. What does this mean?
他以前就不只会是玩具。
I still want to try, just one time, to get closer to you. Confused, unknown, quietness. Is this how you perceive the world?
他是我孩子呀，那我肯定不能放弃他。
I still wish to get closer to you.
他很小的时候就非常自己在。
3岁多的样子，
不看人，
之前也没有了解过
对视。
但他还是我独一无二的宝贝嘛。虽然他确诊了孤独症，但他真的很善良。我想让他和其他孩子一起。我也想他和其他孩子们一起。我只想你快乐、健康就好。我们永远都会爱你。
These stars shine with kindness. I have always cherished them, for they will never be extinguished. When the deep night surrounds you, may they become your stars in the darkness. Voyager 1, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
I've brought you many things this time too. Continue your journey with courage. Stay the course. I have always believed that the most beautiful thing in this world is the smile of a child. They are always so delighted to see me. Except for this boy. He seems indifferent to everything. So many times, I still fail to understand.
I don't understand. What does this mean?
他以前就不只会是玩具。
I still want to try, just one time, to get closer to you. Confused, unknown, quietness. Is this how you perceive the world?
他是我孩子呀，那我肯定不能放弃他。
I still wish to get closer to you.
他很小的时候就非常自己待
大概3岁多的样子，
不看人，
之前也没有了解过。
对视。
但他还是我独一无二的宝贝嘛。虽然他确诊了孤独症，但他真的很善良。我想让他和其他孩子一起上课。我也想他和其他孩子们一起啊。我只想你快乐、健康就好。我们永远都会爱你。
These stars shine with kindness. I have always cherished them, for they will never be extinguished. When the deep night surrounds you, may they become your stars in the darkness. Voyager 1, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
I've brought you many things this time, too. Continue your journey with courage. Stay the course. I have always believed that the most beautiful thing in this world is the smile of a child. They are always so delighted to see me. Except for this boy. He seems indifferent to everything. So many times, I still fail.
Alright, I apologize for the delay, everyone. We are hopefully back because Ellen's Hunter Wi-Fi disconnected. They swapped to data. Hopefully, the ping issue will not be too much of a problem. So, just a quick recap. Currently, Tianba is ahead by... or rather, Ellen is ahead by 3-1, and the Hunter will only be aiming for a tie at this round. So we'll have to see how it's going to play out, because Tianba's Survivor, we can see they can be a little bit inconsistent because they got 4-man by a Sculptor last week, but then they instantly return a 4 Escape the next round against, I think, is a Hermit. So definitely we can see, we'll have to see how Tianba's Survivor is going to play, right?
Yeah. So Tianba survivors are forced to go for this 3-man escape. If not, it'll be very hard for them losing the first BO, especially this is a Hunter meta. It'll be harder for the Hunters to be getting the points later on, especially with the IV and the Opera nerf.
Oh yeah, definitely. So yeah, we're gonna be heading into the game now, so...
Yo, stream.
Sorry?
Stream.
Oh, my Discord?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell... Hold on. Pause, someone pause it. Yeah, I hold on.
Why LB pause?
The spawn. I forgot to tell Fui about that.
Do.
Hold on.
Yeah, guys, we're facing some technical issues due to miscommunication. So yeah, there's another short timeout.
Yeah, no, this time probably no. I don't want to go to break this time.
Yeah, so give us a short few minutes to settle this issue real quick, and we'll be getting back to you real soon.
Yeah. Hold on. I'll pause it again. Oh my gosh, this is...
I have always believed that the most beautiful thing in this world is the smile of a child. They are always so delighted to see me. Except for This boy, he seems indifferent to everything. So many times, I still fail to understand.
I don't understand. What does this mean?
他以前就不只会吃玩具。
I still want to try, just one time, to get closer to you. Confused, unknown, quietness. Is this how you perceive the world?
他是我孩子呀，那我肯定不能放弃他。
I still wish to get closer to you.
他很小的时候就非常自己在。
3岁多的样子，
不看人，
之前也没有了解过。
对视。
但他还是我独一无二的宝贝嘛。虽然他确诊了孤独症，但他真的很善良。我想让他和其他孩子一起上课。我也想他和其他孩子一起啊。我只想。
Yeah, just continue. Just continue.
Okay, I'll inform them.
Yep. All right, everyone, we're back. So yeah, there was a bit of miscommunication with the spawns and everything, but it's been resolved. So now we can hopefully this game can continue. Right now, you can see the love light is going to be into play, just dashing around here and moving towards where LB is, which is going to be the coordinator. Yeah, we talked about Cord can be the good chase, but I think here it was the coordinator that sort of ran into the hunter's face a bit.
Yeah, we can see that love light is a bit lagging.
Shall we pause?
No, I think he's okay. It just keeps maybe have a sudden ping spike.
Ping spike, yeah.
We can see love light. Yeah, we can see love light is going back for the chase again, chasing the coordinator at mansion, and we can see that the coordinator had brought a hunter to the performance cipher, which will be affecting the cipher rush, which is very crucial against the Oprah singer, as you do not want to have any interference in terms of cipher rush.
Yeah, so, but like we definitely can see that the opera singer's dash was slower, even though it was influenced by Love Like's internet. So we can see that Love Like currently can't exactly get too close of a distance towards the coordinator. And let's see, able to play around, but the Priestess Portal is going to come into play here, dragging a lot of time, but he chooses to hit the portal. I think his plan is to go up to, like, go after the Priestess on top.
Yeah, we can see that. You can see that after the Priestess have used two. Oh, we can see the portal trick going back, tricking the hunter, and now Love Light have used the Shadow Dance to go back to chase the Priestess continually at graveyard.
Yeah, going to continue. Oh, misses the first swing though, but trying to get a second one, which is going to happen now. But currently, Love Like has no Shadow Dance, so he's forced to like vault through the palette because Blink has already been expanded. But we can see because the Priestess has been assisting the coordinator a lot early game, so there's currently only 2 ciphers with high progress and 1 is in very low progress.
Yeah, we can see that. You can see that the Priestess have overly supported the coordinator using all her portals and wasn't able to get the distance away, so it's easier for the Opera Singer to immediately get the chase onto the Priestess, and now the Priestess is able to kite, but she's still surviving. Did a very beautiful palace stun on the Opera Singer to buy a lot of time, even with only 1 portal for herself to kite.
Yeah, she has 1 portal, probably going to be using it soon, let's see. Yep. Oh, but misses over there from Love Like, which is very unfortunate. And honestly, I really want to say this, is that the nerf definitely is going to see the effect. It's very slow in my eyes.
Yeah, especially as for Opera players, you can see that how slow that the Love Light is actually dashing, but still able to get in the down on the Perfumer, but it's already almost a 4 cipher kite job.
Yeah, there's 1 high in progress to Dakota. I think it's like a free cipher kite type of situation. So yeah. First of all, Love Like's internet is better now, but we can definitely see, because like I remember the Opera Speed's dash before, and honestly I just feel like this is very significant, like more significant than I initially thought.
Yeah, we can see that Love Light is chasing the FO instead of the Priestess.
Yeah, he got confused over there, so this is just adding salt into the injury at this point. So now he's forced to go after Immortal Priestess, but that's just going to open up the time. So I think at this point, Love Light can only play for a tie at best, and even a tie will be very hard. And we can just see that the Opera Singer is just way too slow, and I think Love Light did not bring palette breaking, which is adding salt into the wound.
Yeah, we can see that due Love Light already made many mistakes in this game, giving the FO the free rescue and got confused going after the first officer instead of the priestess, because the first officer have a skill in terms that after rescuing, both the survivors coming down will have the FO effect. You look exactly at the FO, so Love Light have been confused and allowing the priestess to get a lot of distance, buying a lot of time to Cypher even being prime now. So survivors have just to go for one rescue, and Cypher will already be enough for a 4-man endgame.
Well,
So
Love
this
Light's
really looks like
Love Light's one changing point right now is this basement, and also the fact that he can try and like kill the priestess fast so that he can teleport endgame. That's his like one remaining hope. But let's see, here goes try to go for the farm on the priestess, not being able to, but he's not wanting to let this priestess. He has to try and go for drop down, because if you're gonna just head like this, then you're allowing the priestess to run out, and the priestess has 2 portals to work with, unless he can get it down on the priestess like right now.
Yeah, we can see that the Love Light is going after the priestess, trying to get the faster down. Once able to get in the down, he can able to go control the gate, but he's not able to get the down on the priestess, as the priestess have another portal.
Hold on,
and now he's
everyone is there, and there's still the
court
Court's flare gun. The Court's flare gun. I think this might not even be a free man. Like, yes, you're gonna excitement now, but that's far too slow. Huh.
We can see that due to Love Light, we can see that the LB have managed to utilize the gun very efficiently, but Love Light, knowing that the coordinator is coming, he should have already changed the excitement earlier, because when he was dashing, the coordinator shot, which cancelled his dash, so after excitement, his dash is still on CD, which is not able to catch up enough.
Yeah, I think his reaction there was a bit too slow, because he after he got fired on the flare gun, he waited like it was like 1 or 2 seconds before he swapped into excitement, which is far too slow. So that definitely added to the injury, and now this means that LN, or rather Tianba, is back in the lead now. So with that, this is going to be a 6-3. So now Tianba is back in the lead, and now LN will have to step their game up, especially because I think their hunter probably had to try and fix their internet. So with that, we're gonna hop into a quick pause, and we'll see everyone after the break. See you in a bit.
I have always believed that the most beautiful thing in this world
What's up?
Hello, we're back with more Manor Regulars action. So here's just a quick recap of in the first round, Tianba Survivor won by a 6-3 score, and it was a bit unfortunate on Ellen's side. Their hunter had issues, but you're responsible for your own internet, so that's that. Currently now that Tianba is in the lead, so Tianba, as soon as they win this next round, then they can advance. So Ellen needs to step their game up, because this is the loser's bracket match, meaning that if Ellen loses the next round, they'll be eliminated from the tournament.
Yeah, Jong, you should stream to me.
Oh, my bad. And anyways, while we're talking Night Owl, you can begin.
Yeah, so we can see that even though that Tianba won BO1 with 6-3, LN still have a chance to return the points in terms of having a 3K and a 3 run later on in the BO. So I would say it's not really game over for Team LN, but it's still very hard in terms of the overall match point, as Tianba already have won one game. In BO2, they cannot afford to lose already. If they lose, they'll be already eliminated. And I think that now LN has swapped out their hunters. Hopefully they'll be able to perform better in the BO2, as I'm not worried about Team LN survivors, as they played very well against Doma Goldman.
Yep. Yeah, and actually, now that we're talking, actually both teams swapped out their hunter, as Tianba swapped out Doma with Isokania, like their hunter that played last week, and LN also swapped out their hunter Fury with Golden Hood, because we can see that both hunters did not did not score a lot of points, so they're trying to hopefully with a new hunter is able to get more points and able to provide more advantage. So while we're at it, just a quick recap, or here's the current update of the score or the map, is that Lakeside Village has been chosen and Isokania will be hunting first. But for Ellen's survivor side, what is unfortunate for them is that they have a couple of strong survivors sitting in the global bans, because the Priestess and Puppeteer being gone will bring some pressure to them, as Isokania has a very good opera singer, and also per my memory, the Shadow too.
Yeah, Isokania Shadow is... Isokania also plays piano. So really, if I'm Team LN, I will be focusing on banning Isokania opera singer, as I think is one of his strongest hunter. So we should be focusing on banning the opera and thinking on how to play against the Ivy, as I don't think Isokania plays Goldman, and we can see that LN Cyrus have banned his Dream Witch.
I don't think Isokania played Dream Witch last week. I'm trying to recall. I think Isokania... We saw Isokania with the Shadow last week and also Opera Singer, but I don't think we ever seen him playing with Dream Witch, so unless Ellen knows something that I do not know, otherwise this is a very interesting ban.
Yeah, we can see that LN has went to look at Isokania's profile picture in game, and Isokania was previously an AVEX Dream Witch, but knowing in this meta, I don't think you should be really worrying about Dream Witch, especially if you're gonna pick a Seer Psycho hard 2 counters against a Dream Witch.
Oh yeah, if I mean, it's fine to ban a Dream Witch, but if you're choosing Seer and Psycho, then just might as well let it out. Because the thing is that Dream Witch cannot do a thing with both Seer and Psycho in play, because it takes 4 or 5 hits to get the first down, and Dream Witch does not like survivors that can tank an extra hit.
Yeah, I would say this looks like a GG, because they're picking a Seer and a Psycho against a opera singer, which is very bad, I would say. But the good thing about this new meta is that the Gravekeeper got buff. So Gravekeeper they have buff in terms of his kiting, and his rescuing is stronger compared to in the past. So I'm very interested in seeing how teams will be picking out Gravekeeper as the rescuer in earlier BOs.
Oh yeah, and I also love the fact that the Gravekeeper like rushing out and knocking the hunter backwards. It's like One Punch Man, and boom, boom, rushes out of the underground and knocks the hunter backwards. It was very funny. So yes, Gravekeeper in this meta has some sort of harass, but I mean, as a hunter player, it's easy to avoid it, but it is very good using it to stall time in endgame.
Yeah, Gravekeeper now is very strong in terms of rescuing, especially against an Ivy or Opera Singer. Sometimes you just want to rescue and use the Titaner to let your teammates to buy time in the Titaner, because you know that you cannot kite, but you just use the Titaner to rescue, with ensuring that you'll be still being full health without eating any damage. So Gravekeeper, this buff is very strong in terms of getting the free rescue more often. And if the hunter chooses to hit the gravekeeper, your teammates have a bigger distance to kite, to second kite. So we can see that Team Elhen has chosen Wildling instead of First Officer, which makes sense because Lakeside is a very big map. As Isokanya has already banned the Mercenary, they are only forced to pick the Wildling, First Officer or Gravekeeper. And out of all three, the Wildling will be best in terms of movement and healing and ensuring the rescue.
Yeah, so a couple of is a Toy Merchant got banned, and Toy Merchant is very strong in this, or like stronger in this meta because she received like quite some buff from her like reducing the 1 second. Like now she doesn't have to wait for 1 second before using her catapult after placing it. Also, if I'm not mistaken, she can like allow some certain survivors to grab an extra item in their hand, which made her support ability stronger. And Lakeside Boat is just a place where it is like the Toy Merchant's playground.
Yeah, the problem about this team comp is right. I cannot think of any survivor that can able to kite this Opera Singer if Isokanya choose to take Opera Singer, because all Seer, Psycho and Lawyer, these characters don't have really much items to work with. Only Seer having the Seer Bird Hour. But the thing is, who will be spawning at Shack to take the kite? Lawyer, the Lawyer is still strong in kiting at the small boat area because he wouldn't get terror shock. He can keep vaulting the windows over and over, which is very annoying for Opera Singer. In the past, I've played Opera Singer at Lakeside, and it's very annoying to chase the Lawyer at the small boat, the window areas.
Oh yeah, I know where you're talking about. There's a reason why some Opera Singer players like to bring Confined Space Warp in this map just to shut down those areas. As we're going to be seeing, the Opera Singer is making another grand appearance after Lunarfia's Hunter got 4 escaped with it. So I'm currently just thinking and looking at this team comm, and like just now we talked about Opera Singer being significantly slower. And we did see that it was slower in the match with LN, but that was also influenced by a bit of internet errors. So let's see here, for Isokanya's Opera Singer, let's see what is the true effect of the Opera nerf in this meta.
Yeah, so I would say most likely they'll be letting out the Psychologist. It's either they let the Lawyer to go and kite, or let the Lawyer go and decode. But if you let the Lawyer to go and decode, both the Seer and Psycho it'll be harder for them to kite outside compared to a Lawyer at the small boat area 11. Then most likely you'll let the Psychologist spawn at Shack area, as the Seer can still support. So instead of 3 hits, the Psychologist is able to eat 4 hits. But it's still, we need to remember it's still an Opera. Her movement speed is very fast, so the amount of hits she can get is faster compared to other hunters.
Yeah, Night Owl, you can begin when you're ready. So yeah, right now I'm still wondering why did they let out the Opera Singer, because the thing here is that I feel like they could ban Opera Singer and chose the exact same team comp, and it would be fine against, it would be okayish against the Shadow, but because the Lawyer, Seer, Psycho, but now facing the Opera Singer with this team comp is just like very like worrying, I would say.
Yeah.
So because here, like I will echo with you, I cannot see who can kite out. Maybe the Wildling can drag for time, but that's really the only thing. Unless the Opera Singer is too slow, because but now that I'm thinking, I think as you mentioned, one of the only strong areas is the small boat double 11. The other parts are like weak kiting areas in Lakeside.
Yeah, I would say they shouldn't really ban the Druid. If you're telling me this team comp is against the Ivy, it's still playable, but against the Opera Singer, it's not very playable anymore. So it really depends on how Isokanya plays and how the survivor is able to kite Isokanya Opera Singer at whatever location they are at. So now we are going to the map selection. We'll be seeing where the survivors will be spawning now.
Yep. Let's see. So we are going to be seeing. Oh, they're going to go for a full straight line. And Opera Singer spawn at the top. So Seer, Cheese will definitely have to make a run for it. And I think Cheese will be spawning at a very bad area because like the double. I don't think he is able to run to the small boat area that quick. So Cheese will be relying on his Soul Kite, but we do see that he has like a full-on kiting build with both the broken windows and the flywheel effect. So this is going to come into favor. So it's really just another like 1 versus 1 situation.
Yeah, so we can see that Isokanya has chosen Backgate, most likely going for the Seer, but it's still very annoying to be chasing a Seer or whoever's at 11 area.
So yeah, here Opera Singer just dancing around, and yes, it's still painful to see how slow she is, and is able to approach the seer who is rotating around, probably trying to get up towards the small boat, or rather play around these windows first. Both works because he does have like a broken windows to work with to extend the distance, and just kite around these window areas before going towards the boat.
Yeah, we see that the opera singer, in terms of skill, is still very high, but it's still nerfed, so the movement speed is still very slow, allowing the seer to get able to transition into the windows faster. And we can see that now Isokanya have voted window force, trapping the seer at this weaker window, and most likely the seer will be utilizing his owl very soon.
Yeah, because there's nowhere for the seer to really go, but we can see that the opera singer did miss the dash entering cooldown, allowing Cheese to like make some distance, and is able to get the owl in play here. And yes, in this meta, after the owl gets used, Seer's vaulting speed would be slower, so that's one thing to note. Here Iso will wait for it to cool down and go for a Flower Fang not being effective, and now that's not looking good because we can also see that the Seer run into the Psychologist, so I think there's a bit of a communication error on them, because now the Seer is gonna go down like because of one blink, and the Seer will probably gets down unless he gets another out just in time, but does not seem like— oh! Misses the swing though, so the Seer can last for a bit here, Panda.
Yeah, you can see that the Seer is buying so much time, even though Isokanya have used Blink, he managed to dodge the hit. And after Isokanya had used the dash to get out in distance, it was into CD and buying extra 15 seconds, which is a lot for his teammates to decode.
Yeah,
so we can see that ciphers are almost a 3 cipher kite, and the lawyers already started decoding on the next cipher.
I think it's a 2.5 cipher because the Psychologist sort of got disrupted by the Seer kiting into theirs. I think the survivors did not like manage the routes very clearly because the Seer forced the Psycho to run away here, and now Iso is just going to go out pressuring LMJ's waddling here, but I think this is definitely on track on the survivors for a tie because they are like pretty high in progress. Like 1 cipher is almost done and 2 are at least half progress right now.
We can see that LMJ have utilized the hit on the pig very efficiently, going down, timing it very well, going down on the pig, eating the hit instead of allowing the hunter to swing at the pig for free. And we can see that it's a successful rescue, and the Seer will be dying away from the cipher at center, and most likely the Psychologist will be whistling the Wildling to go for the second rescue.
Yep, because we can see that Wildling is finishing up his cipher. So actually right now, the last cipher is going to be the Psychologist cipher, which is completely untouched, because the Lawyer cipher should be done very soon. And the Wildling already finished his cipher, but the good news though is that now Iso knows which direction LMJ is coming from, and there's a possibility that you can try and cut LMJ off.
Isokanya knows the Wildling location, but it's very hard to cut the Wildling off because it's a Wildling. It's not like a first officer or like a mercenary which have to mind game a bit. A Wildling, he just goes on the pig, is a guaranteed stable rescue. But we can see that the Seer doesn't have borrowed time, so the Wildling had to rescue very carefully, not getting a terror shot.
Hold on.
And body blocking.
Hold on. This very— oh, misses hits the chair. This is not looking good because now what is going to happen now is that they can try and potentially block. There's still half a cipher time here.
Yeah, we can see that Isokanya now is very panicking that he have to go down for the Seer, and the Seer managed to suck another hour in time just perfectly and enough to buying time for the cipher. We can see that both ciphers are already 90%, but he still managed to able to get the hit on the Seer, and we can see now the Wildling is gonna get onto the pig and trying to OB, buying time for the Seer, but we can see that the Cyrus is very smart, immediately popping the cipher, allowing the Wildling to have the double speed boost on the pig and the borrowed time speed boost, and now Isokanya knows that he cannot waste any more time getting down on the Wildling and going back to check the Seer. And we see that now all the survivors are trying their best to run to the front gate. I don't know if the survivors are enough time. We can see that the gate is already 70%.
No, it won't be.
Isokanya has checked. He's able to change his trump card and teleport to front gate. And now survivors are both of them are trapped at front gate, and looks like more towards 3k elimination.
I'm not sure. It depends on what the survivors plan here, because the Psychologist is actually still nearby, because now the Lord goes down, the Psychologist is actually still at this side of the map, so if Iso knows where exactly did the Psychologist went, then this is not even a tie, because we can see that yes, Iso knows where the Psychologist is. The question is, does he dare to chase after the Psycho?
I think Iso had made a mistake in terms that he was already looking at the Psycho location, but he did not see the Psycho footsteps. Because if it's me, I know where the Psychologist is, wouldn't check. I would have went to get the down on the Psychologist, then going back to the Lawyer. But we can see that Isokanya has mistakenly located and same mistake like Doma, allowing them to get the rescue down. So the survivors are now both trying to force the front gate cipher as they know that they cannot escape, trying to both forcing the front gate cipher to go for that one man escape. But it's not enough because the psychologists have already left. Like you see that Doma, Isokanya have already utilizes his teleport and is still in under 40 seconds CD. The psychologist is running as fast as she can to back gate, trying to hopefully get that draw. We can see that if Isokanya is not able to keep up, the survivors be able to get a draw, which is very impressive already by the survivor side against Isokanya, such a skillful Opera like him.
Hold on, the question is, can he though? Opera Singer now so slow, but it's inching closer and closer. Wanling is gonna come and block, and also there's only 10 seconds before detention, so 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness, the psychologist goes down! But wait, rush!
Okay. Huh?
Okay, no.
We can see that Isokanya didn't really think that the Wowling is a real person. He treated the Wowling as an AI and not care about the Wowling. In a situation when the psychologist is down, you should be focusing on the Wowling, even hitting him or trying to force his pick. If it doesn't, no matter what, you cannot pick it up. You can buy attack time.
To be fair, there's not much Isokanya can really do because at that point the tension just ran out. In order to hit the Welling off the board, you're gonna need 2 hits, and the psychologist is already crawling her way towards. So the amount of time given for Isokanya to really deal with the Welling is very limited. And I would agree with you that he should not have just directly balloon, but I feel like even if he did not, it would have very likely that what he can do is severely limited, considering that the tension is gone and it's a full health boar.
Yeah, but we can see that the Wally have went up earlier trying to body block for the psychologist. So we can see in our perspective that the pick is already 30 seconds. It is already almost halfway done. And we know as a hunter you should know that as the more times the Wally go onto his pick, the shorter the CD it will be. And we can see that the Wally already went onto this pick already twice or 3 times this game already. So knowing that the Wally pick he already gotten on 2 to 3 times, you know that the CD is not gonna be very long, so he can try his best to force to hit the Walling or just waste the time before the Walling have to get off his ball before trying the psychologist. Because no matter what, you're not able to try the psychologist, you should be trying to focus on killing the pick. If you can kill the pick, you can guarantee the 3k elimination. If not, you'll be either way, it still be a draw, but at least you have a higher chance of going for the 3k elimination, which I think in this perspective, the psychologist doesn't have any doesn't have the crawl persona. He can mostly go for that 3k. But you can see that Isokaya made a mistake in thinking that the Walling had immediately left, I think. I think it was a very crucial mistake by him, thinking that the Walling have left already. But the Walling was still there, buying time and OBing down the psychologist, allowing them to go for that draw.
Yeah, and I actually just realized that, like, I checked the replay, and because Isokaya knocked the psychologist backwards, like, the psychologist actually flew outside the gate. So actually, Isokanya had more time to deal with the Wildling than I initially thought. So in that scenario, he definitely could have like tried and forced the Wildling a bit before, because like the psychologist needs a bit of time to crawl. And yes, with that information given, I now agree with you that Isokanya there could have gone for a free K. But anyways, we're gonna head into pause and we'll see everyone after the break. See you in a bit.
heart full of delight. Only 4 seats left for them. Can they make it right? Evil whispered into ears, casting
This is my closing night.
down the lonely river, kingfish grand and bright. Just came in, hearts full of delight. Only 4 seats left for them. Can they make it right? Evil whispered into ears, casting
This is my closing night.
Was
Yep. Welcome back. So yeah, once again I apologize as I rechecked the replay. And yes, because the psychologist got knocked back, so definitely had enough time to deal with the wildling. More than enough. So ISO sort of like lost the opportunity for a free man elimination there, which is unfortunate. So here's a quick recap on the current score. As currently, after 6-3, it's a tie, and that means that should Tianba's survivor get a free man escape next round, it'll be over, as Ellen's hunter, Golden Hood, who got subbed in, will be looking for at least a tie, and potentially a free man escape, because if this round ends in a tie, this means that Ellen will have to return a 6-3 in round 3, which they don't want, so ideally he would probably try to aim for a free man elimination here.
Yes, that's right, John. So we need to, we can see that Golden Hood must go for that 3-man elimination. If not, it'll be very hard for them to even fight back in BO3, especially that they have to go for that 3k and 3 eliminate, 3k and 3 run,
Now you can
which
begin.
is very hard.
Anyways, so yeah, now that we are at it, so we are going to be heading into the potential last match, because as I said, if Tianba's survivor gets a free man escape, it'll be over. And the thing with Tianba's survivor is that their survivors and global ban are not as strong as LNs were, because they still have the priestess in place here. Like majority of the meta characters are still in play for them, and also Golden Hood. Like I'm not sure if he played in the prelims. I cannot remember, but we did not see him play before. So if Golden Hood has something like in the secret, it's time to pull out now, because he must get a tie at least.
Yeah, I'll say, but if it's I'm Golden Hood, instead of going for a tie, I'll be aiming to go for that 3k elimination, because if Golden Hood is able to go for the 3K elimination, BO3 whoever win the game will still win overall. But if Team Pa goes for the draw, they're still able to win BO3. But Golden Hood, Team LN has a higher chance or even winning the entire match against TB if they are able to get that 3K elimination now.
Yeah, so we are seeing the Seer and Priestess being banned right off the bat, and Goatman has been banned on the Hunter side, like meaning that Golden Hood cannot play Goatman. So maybe I think Tianba probably did their homework. So yeah, like can you talk for a bit while I try to see did Golden Hood play before?
Yeah, so we can see that Golden Hood. No, we're not very sure that what Golden Hood will be playing, but we can see that they've chosen to respect. Team Tianba has banned the current meta strongest hunter, which is Goatman, as is correct. As in terms of you're not very sure in terms of what the hunter will play. It's best to ban what is the strongest in the meta, which is currently the Goatman, followed by Oprah and followed by Ivy. So we can see that Golden Hood have banned Seer and Priestess, which is very interesting, because which are both very correctly banned, as I'll say, because Priestess is very annoying at Lakeside because it's a very big map. The global portal can be very annoying for hunter players, especially like the Oprah or even Shadow. So we can see that the survivors have not cared about saving their characters for BO3 anymore. They want to finish it in this BO2, and they have chosen the Mercenary and Toy Merchant.
Yep. Yeah, because
I would say the Mercenary.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. I would say the Mercenary is a very good choice because it's already a BO2. You need to have a stable, secure rescuer, which is the Mercenary, which I think is one of the best. Picking this Toy Merchant is very interesting. How Tianba will have their teamwork around this Toy Merchant, because it's a very big map. It's still very hard to transition, especially to find the Toy Merchant. Especially like Oprah, Ivy. Ivy can be able to cancel your jumping animation. Then Oprah is able to catch up to you very fast, so it's very hard for you to transition. So we can see that Golden Hood has banned a psychologist to preventing the Mercenary to get whistled and go for another rescue. They have chosen the Acrobat, which is a very stable and strong fighter, especially in a shack or even at a small boat area. So in this team call, I would say that Team Tianba maybe need like a stunner, which maybe like an Antiquarian or a Prospector will be very good.
Yeah,
so
so
the team in case of anything that goes wrong.
Yeah, currently I just checked, Golden Hood never played in qualifiers, so we have no idea on what he plays. But if we're just looking purely on this, I'm thinking we might potentially see a Shadow, because the thing is that Psychologist and Priestess here, these are all characters that the Shadow does not like. So if we're talking about meta characters, and the first thing that comes to my mind is the Shadow. But then again, we do not know because Golden Hood never played before, meaning that he could potentially pull out anything.
Yeah. So
we are gonna see the Puppeteer ban next, and the last one is going to be Prospector being selected. So I guess here Tianba is like trying to also prevent a potential the Shadow here. So we are going to be waiting on what is Golden Hood's pick. Currently, I just have no clue because the Shadow also got shut down here. So maybe Golden Hood is like one of those players that select what they're the most proficient with, and then this is like something very hard for us to predict. But Toy Merchant, but I just realized though, Panda, is that Toy Merchant, the synergy with this team comp is not too good because Toy Merchant can only give items to the Mercenary. I think they're using the Merchant just as a sole character on her own because she cannot really support.
yeah, I would say that if Golden Hood knows how to play Geisha, it'll be quite strong against this team comp, especially like a Lakeside big map. Lakeside Geisha is very strong in terms of a chase and catching up the distance. So let's see what Golden Hood will be picking.
Yep, let's see indeed. So yeah, because now it's the time for him to stand up, as he must achieve at least a tie and ideally a Freeman escape, a Freeman elimination. Because I would say a tie is almost as bad as losing this round because you still have to return the 6-3 by a 6-2 or anything else. So, oh my goodness, here, what am I seeing?
What did Golden Hood pick? A Hermit.
I honestly, Hermits, yes, have 4K potential and is strong, but every time, like, I don't know why, but in this tournament, every live round, I see Hermits players does not end well, because we're talking about like a very coordinated team, like that can coordinate charges and everything. And with that in play here, Hermit will be very hard to do a full-on field control, let alone the fact that there's a Prospector that can cancel out the stuns.
Yeah, so we can see that Hermit is being played because Golden Hood knows that he needs to go for that more kill elimination, but we can see previously by Team Tianba, they are versus a team earlier on, and the Hunter also picked Hermit, and they were able to get a 4-man escape on the same map, Lakeside.
Yeah, definitely. I remember that, and also in the previous like Manor Regulars, the Hermit players in the live round also got 4-man escape. In the prelims, in the qualifiers, we did see some Hermit players that did well, but whenever it comes to live rounds, normally Hermit players do not end well, because by time, like, the teams will be more skilled and it'll be harder for Hermit players. So we'll have to see how this is going to be in play. And yes, Night Owl, you can begin. Because the thing is that yes, there's no like healers here, but there's still the Prospector that we have to look out of, because the Prospector can give the Hermit a potential headache.
Yeah, I would say in this team comp, it would be better to chase the Prospector immediately instead of letting the Prospector OBU later, which is very annoying for Hermit, as Hermit really prioritizes his chase.
Oh, I'll agree with you on that. So we are going to be heading into the game like soon. Let's check on the personas. So we are going to be seeing three flywheel effects. I think for Hermit with flywheel and broken windows is a 50-50, because there are two ways to kite it regardless. But we can see that the Prospector has brought in broken windows, which will help him to transition early game, because if he's going to be the first one chased, then he definitely needs to last it out, because Prospector's one weakness is his early game.
Yes, we can see that the Prospector has broken windows, Toy Merchant bringing flywheel, and the Acrobat has brought in flywheel.
Yep. So, yeah, we can see that the spawns here, Hermit probably going to spawn next to the Prospector, and Prospector will be taking the first chase. So Prospector have to make a run for it. But one thing that I do recall is that Norton Leo also played Prospector last week, and I remember his Prospector did a fantastic job. So this is going to be giving Golden Hood a real challenge here.
Yeah, so let's see how. So we'll be going to the game. So we'll be seeing how Golden Hood will be able to try to get for the 3-man elimination for his team. If not, Golden Hood should be prioritizing to go for at least a draw, so the survivors still have a chance in BO3 to have a 3-man escape and a 3-kill elimination by their hunters, and still able to take down the entire game.
Yep, so we are currently waiting. Yeah, so remember, ladies and gentlemen, here Golden Hood must achieve a 4-man eliminate, or not 4-man, at least a tie, ideally a 3-man elimination. And this is his first appearance in this tournament as a Hunter player, as he previously only played a Survivor. So he must make this his first appearance count, as we can see that Golden Hood will be heading towards Immortal and Mercenary instead, but probably just to like bait or force out a couple of elbow pads, because I recall that we previously saw a Hermit chase a Mercenary and it ended the Mercenary kite too long. So let's see what will happen here.
Yeah, but in terms of rank, in terms of ranking, in rank, we see a lot of Hermit chasing the rescuers, which is very interesting because they want to force the survivors to come and rescue, and eliminating the Tide Turner effect.
Yep. So we can see another elbow pad into the wall, and there goes the first stun. And here we can see Mercer getting a bit stuck, which is going to open the door, forcing another elbow pad, and now the survivors can potentially like swap their charges and body block, as now Immortal is just still lasting around. We can see that there are two survivors with blue charges already, so this is going to guarantee the Mercenary to last for like at least 3 hits.
Yeah, we can see that the Mercenary have already fully utilized all 3 of his elbow pad, and we see that Golden Hood have brought in teleport, which I think most likely after getting a hit on Mercenary, he wouldn't be focusing on the Mercenary, and he will be teleporting to another Cypher, which the survivors already have a charge in order to get an instant hit on them. But it turns out that Golden Hood is not going to teleport and will be focusing on the Mercenary instead.
Yeah, because the thing is that 2 survivors just swapped Prospector does not have a charge, meaning that no one can help him tank this hit anymore, and there it goes. And right now here, Hermit can just like instantly put a red charge onto the Mercenary, because both the Merchant and Acrobat cannot swap, so this means that he's gonna get some free damage on both sides.
I wouldn't recommend giving the blue charge, because knowing that the Prospector has just put the Cypher, he's immediately transitioning to a Cypher which has already been connected. So now he have to get 2 more hits on the Mercenary before even getting down.
Oh yeah, that's right. I reckon like if he's going to play like this, I think he should have instantly disconnected before a chance, because now that the Prospector touched the Cypher, an extra hit and the whole game changes. So I feel like his misplay there was to not like disconnect, and we can see that he misses a charge. So now he has to like rely on raw foot for a bit of time.
Yeah, we can see that the Toy Merchant is trying to give the item to the Mercenary, but there's a bit of communication error by him. But now we can see that Golden Hood missed both of his electric, and now the Acrobat has went into the locker. So now, if he was managed to get the hit earlier, the Acrobat wouldn't be able to get into the locker and get eating a free extra hit. But now we can see that Mercenary will be going down without spreading the damage to his other teammates.
Yeah, but the thing is that 2 Cyphers are already gone, and I imagine there's 2 with very high progress level. So at this point of time, with the Hermit is that if you cannot kill someone fast, then once the first wave of Cyphers are done, it's a whole different story, and minus the fact that there's also the Prospector who is doing the controlling magnet tricks, and now Golden Hood is trying to go after Norton, but there's still the magnet, so there isn't a chance for Golden Hood to even get a hit onto Norton.
We can see
watch out!
We can see that Golden Hood is being very greedy in trying to get a hit on the Prospector, which there's a chance that the Mercenary is able to struggle since he already had put down the Mercenary once. So let's see if the Mercenary is able to get a struggle now. If the Mercenary is able to get a struggle now, it's very hard for Golden Hood to even try to go. And we see that the Prospector is still trying to go for that OB and allowing the Mercenary to struggle down.
Yeah, like that's what I was trying to talk about. And also the other thing is that actually there was a bit of danger with the Prospector, because the Prospector, just now there's a chance that he could have got cancelled the attack recovery, which did not happen. So now we can see, yes, the Prospector is gonna go down. But the issue of that is that the Acrobat Cypher, like LB's, is very high in progress value, and the Toy Merchant's one is already 70%. So now the thing is that the only saving grace is that the last Cypher got disrupted, so we'll have to see how would the survivors do in managing the last Cypher now.
Yeah, we can see that just now Golden Hood, after after the Prospector had OB down, he was immediately wanting to teleport to the Toy Merchant, but the Prospector had cancelled his teleport animation instead. And you can see that both Toilet and Shore Cypher is already 80%, which is almost prime. So we see the time for Golden Hood is not very much really anymore. He have to go and control Cypher instead of cheering here, as both Cyphers are already very high efficiency, and allowing the Prospector to get the OB down on the Toy Merchant.
Yeah, so I think the survivors just have to be very careful in who pops the Cypher, because everyone here had red charge. But we can see that because everyone had red charge, no one will even be going down, and that's the weakness with Hermit when everything was connected. So now we're heading into endgame, and don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, that Golden Hood needs to get at least a tie. But seeing that the teleport is in cooldown and the gate has already been touched, this does not seem likely, because Golden Hood is nowhere close to Immortal right now.
Yeah, we need to see that if Golden Hood is able to get it down before his teleport is ready, there's still a chance of him making to the other side of the gate. But we can see that he's wasting a lot of time not using his first ability skill to fly out to get a hit on the Mercenary, and we can see that he utilizes the skill and managed to get a fast down on the Mercenary. Is he able to teleport? He cannot chair. He have to teleport if he needs to get the draw. But we can see that he decided to go for the chair on the Mercenary, and the survivors have managed to get a 3-man escape, taking down Team LN 2-0.
Yeah, so with that, actually, hold on, let me just show the data first. So with that, yeah, I feel like here, like the Hermit's choice to chase the Mercenary did not work in his favor, because the Mercenary lasted a certain amount of time, and he chaired towards the Prospector. Like he chose to like balloon the Mercenary with a longer route. But the issue with that is that he brought him to the Prospector, and the Prospector disruption, even though he did not use the magnet to save, him forcing the Hermit to drop down once is already more than enough to struggle, and the Prospector definitely came into play here, managing to delay Hermit's chair twice. So that was an amazing job on the Prospector, and I feel like the survivors definitely was like very calm and reserved against Golden Hood's Hermit.
Yeah, you see that Golden Hood had made a lot of mistakes, allowing that prospector to OB, buying a lot of ciphers, buying a lot of time to decode the ciphers, and allowing them to even get the 3-man escape. I think Golden Hood made a lot of mistakes playing as a hermit, giving the ciphers a lot of chances, even though the ciphers have made a lot of mistakes, especially the mercenary using the 3 pets very early into the game.
Yep. So with that, once again, I believe I can officially put this on now. Congratulations to Team LN for defeating Team Tianba for defeating Team LN and advancing to the next round of the losers bracket. This means that for Lunarfia, unfortunately, they will be eliminated, and I thank you them for participating in this tournament. So for Team Tianba, like both factions did decently, but their survivors did very well today, managing 1-4 escape and 1 free escape here, and managing to like lead the team into victory. And they will be facing off against Team AX tomorrow. So once again, congratulations to Team LN, or rather Team Tianba. I keep on tripping. Oh my god. So hold on. Yeah, so right now I'm asking them to send someone to the interview VC. Yeah, let's go to interview VC, Panda. Yeah, so once again, because Tianba has won because they won the first round by 6-3, and they won the second round by, I think it was a 5-3 because it was a tied and free escape. So hey there, ISO and I don't know who Lu Xian. I don't know who is that.
Yeah, Lu Xian.
Is it Norton or Immortal?
Hi, Jung. Norton.
Oh, it's Norton.
Norton.
Oh, it's Norton. All right, hello. So yeah, obligatory obvious question out of the way first. So you guys just won. How does it feel?
Very excited actually, and I think all my teammates is like very surprised because at the beginning of the match we was like losing point, right, because they get a 3 escape at the first, so everyone is like just cheering each other and then try to do better in the match, so we won't get very high points, you know, like
different
deficit, yeah.
And then we just do our best, do what everyone should do, then make the match won't make our teammate make it so difficult, so we can just maintain it smoothly. Yeah.
Yeah, so one thing that I note is that, because let's talk about your survivors first, because we see they did amazing job managing like 1-4 escape and 1 free escape. So for the first round of 4 escape, I want to talk about like what was going on in your voice chat and while trying to achieve that 4 escape.
Actually, I need to thanks all of my teammates. Yeah, they really communicate very well, and then they cooperate every single signal. We say where's the basement, and then where should we do the transition, and won't disturb any cyber, and just make hunter camp cyber and the survivor at the same time. And then at the beginning, we just think that we're trying to get a 3 escape. But when Immortal say that, oh, I have a portal, I can go straight away to the gate, then everyone just go towards to the middle to help Immortal, and then LB just use the gun very, how to say, like,
effectively?
You know?
Effective.
Effective, so that everyone can just get out, because we think that if he changed into teleport, we won't have the chance, but LB already there, so if he changed to teleport, it may just discancel the teleport. So when we saw that the excitement is late being used, we know there's a 4 escape. We all are like so happy, you know. So I have to thanks all my teammates. Yeah, Hunter also do a very great job.
Yep, and for the second round, because like you're playing against Golden Hood, who never appeared before, and he pulled out a Hermit. So may I know that like what was going on, like how your team communicate with this Hermit pick, especially because their player never played in this tournament before?
Oh, actually, we are quite surprised that he will choose Hermit. We is like thinking maybe he will pick opera singer or Ivy,
Mm-hmm.
but at the end it ends out with a Hermit. But we are quite confident because one of our teammate, Immortal, he play a lot of Hermit himself. So we is like just playing normal and then trying not making any mistakes so to win the match. Yeah.
Ah, yeah, yeah. So, and as for your hunter for ISO, like I see that in early it was very intense, and also especially because ISO chose opera singer, and opera has been nerfed like already. So I would like to ask ISO is that how do you feel about pulling the opera against this team comp after it got nerfed?
She moved like my grandmother. So slow.
Yeah, I can tell that because like in that game it was actually very intense and you almost managed a free man eliminate them. But I felt like if the opera didn't got nerfed, there was no way the psychologist could have made it towards the gate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was unfortunate, but still both sides performed very well, and you all managed to Olunarfia, so congratulations. And you'll be playing against Armada X tomorrow, so are you prepared for it?
Yeah, we will try our best and do more training.
Mm-hmm. All right. Once again, thank you very much for the interview. For Team Tianba, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. So with that, because Yappers dropped out, we don't have a second match today. So thank you everyone for tuning in the stream, and I'll see everyone with more Manor Regulars action tomorrow. See you in a bit, guys. Goodbye.